Hello, everybody, and good afternoon. This is Nicole Johnson-Starr with the PTSD Retreat Radio Talk Show. I am sitting here today with Dennis Orr, the founder of Vetpropulsion.com. Now, Dennis has a very interesting background. He's been in the military. How many years did you serve, Dennis?
I just served one tour. I was navigator bombardier on B-52s during the Cold War.
See, I told you guys. Interesting. Now, how many bombardiers do you guys know? Because that totally... When I first heard him tell me that, I was like, you what? and if he could have heard my voice through the email, you know, he would have gotten the total, oh my gosh, he's so cool, you know, attitude of the kids. Because, you know, it's from a long line of military, and all the men in my family are pilots. So when you said you were a bombardier, I'm like, ooh, cool, a different aspect to flying, you know. So I want to hear a little bit about that, and then I want, you know, about your experience in the military, and then I want you to tell everybody about Vetpropulsion, Dennis, because I'm serious, this definitely has to get out. What you have created is totally unique. So share away, but first, tell me about being a bombardier.
Well, this was, I went on active duty just about the time of the Cuban Missile Crisis, and then I wound up in a single-wing SAC base in western Oklahoma, and we flew H-bombs around the North Pole on what was called Chrome Dome. And we carried two 10-megaton H-bombs and two 1.1 megaton Hound Dog missiles under the wings. I remember waving at Russian fighters at Point Barrow, Alaska. They wanted to make sure we didn't cross over to Russian territory. And then we would... 24 hours in the air, 2 refuelings, just an incredible experience in doing that. And you go into grid navigation when you get up around the North Pole because magnetic compasses are inaccurate, so you have to go into a completely different system there. The North Pole, by the way, just looks white.
You didn't see Santa.
No, he was asleep at the time. And we were the #1 wing in SAC. We had held the Fairchild Trophy winner. Volume too low?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Okay, let me move it up here. Okay, I'm up. How's that? Better? Cool. And so I did one tour of duty, and looked like my next assignment was probably going to be Minot, North Dakota.
Ooh, why not Minot? Freezing is freezing.
Yep, that's right. And so I said, no, I wasn't that interested in continuing on at that time. Either the only way you got out of SAC was either to screw up or resign, and I didn't want to screw up. So I was just so happy to get a job when I got out. I had a degree in government, knew how to drop bombs, and so I thought I was going to go to Portland, Oregon originally, and wound up in Denver because I peddled Jello for a year. And
okay, now you just brought a whole new segment to this. So you peddled Jello?
Yes, I was the Jello Man for part of Colorado. And it was one thing I learned from this was that here we are. I just come out of the military, as we all were, taking that oath of office to protect and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And here I was, some high school dropout saying, "Hey, Jello Man." And so what I found was if you can't identify with the mission of the organization you're going to join, don't go there because you're not going to be happy with it. With those of us who've been in the military have a really strong sense of mission and that we want to get something, and we have to work on something we really believe in.
You actually just brought up something that's really important because that's something that has gone through every single generation of military. It's what pulls us all together.
Yes. Yeah, it really has. And so, you know, I left Jello after about a year and did a few things on my own. And then about 2 years ago, after we'd been in the business of doing, working with people on an individual basis and doing consulting with them on the people side of issues, I discovered an instrument called the Berkman Method. And Roger Berkman, who just turned 94 Friday, is still with us. Roger created the Berkman Method. He was a B-17 pilot in World War II. And Roger bailed out over Germany on May 27th, 1944, my wife's birthday, and made it back to the United States and created the Berkman Method, which was the U.S. Air Force came to hit another colleague. They said, we need to find a better way to select pilots. And so Roger created the Berkman Method, and it's now considered the world's most accurate non-clinical assessment. It's the one that we use in Vetpropulsion to help you discover what you want to be when you grow up.
And it's not just pilots. We're talking everybody. Segment of job and career.
Yes, it shows you what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, shows you what causes stress in your life, and what you can do about it. It's very prescriptive. And so that's the nice thing about it, but also matches you up with which job or career fields that you will be successful in. Mm-hmm. And it's tied in with the ONet, which is, as you know, the Department of Labor website. And that shows you that, let's say that I had several people that take it and they realized they were in the wrong job. Particularly, they were, like we were doing a pilot project with the Colorado National Guard. One woman had always been stuck in doing treasury functions, accounting, bookkeeping. That was the dead last on her, on what she should be. And she was so happy that she turned out and now is working as a event planner.
Oh, what, that is a complete change.
Yes, it is.
Oh,
and it
my
gave
goodness.
her,
she's a
gave
people
her
person.
Permission. Yes, she gave her permission to do that. Another woman recognized how she came across to other people. That's another thing that Berkman shows, is how you come across, how you're perceived by other people. And so we've used it very extensively, and we're now using it to track people with PTS, and that way we can help them discover what their stress behaviors are going to look like and what they can do to get over those.
Okay. Now, folks, you heard him refer to PTS. PTS, PTSI, PTSD, they're all the same thing. Post-traumatic stress, post-traumatic injury, and post-traumatic disorder. They all are the same thing. It's just the way that the government's trying to shift away from the stigma. So PTS is a new term. So just don't be surprised when you hear PTS or PTSI. So. Yeah,
the veterans we've talked with prefer the term injury to disorder because they feel disorder means they're crazy. And injury says it's something that happened to me and I could overcome that.
Yeah, and just saying PTS just acknowledges everything, so that makes it even easier.
Yes.
Now, Dennis, I'm going to go back to Vetpropulsion. Now, this would normally be an expensive process, is it not? But you guys have made it, created a very inexpensive way of doing this.
Yes. Back when I turned 48 years of age, I did a career change. I got into the outplacement business, and we did outplacement that for executives. And the program that we use for executives, that a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 program, is what we're now using essentially in Vetpropulsion. And veterans do not pay for the program, and it's we're putting it into the community colleges where the GI Bill will pay for it.
That's even better. That,
yes.
I mean, I love the fact that you don't have veterans paying for it, but the fact that it's going, the GI Bill will actually involve, that means family members can also take advantage of this through the GI Bill.
Yes, that's correct. And so we've working with Estrella Mountain Community College in Phoenix, Arizona right now. We're going to be doing a project, ask us to do the project in April of this year, and working with the Red Rocks Community College in Colorado, as well as Tidewater Community College in Virginia Beach, Virginia, who are working and getting it in. In fact, Virginia Beach, the Tidewater School is going to be doing a Vetpropulsion for military spouses starting February 26th.
Ho, did you guys hear that? That's military spouses, Virginia Beach, Tidewater College, Tidewater Community College, right?
Yes.
And that's February 26th is when that starts.
Yes, you can check with Lahoma Rodriguez, who is the woman who's running the program at Tidewater Community College.
Okay, so for all of you guys that are military wives and spouses, definitely go there. You probably want to sign up soon instead of waiting till February 26th. Is that correct? Or
that's correct. I don't know if they've got all the 20 in there. It's a proof of concept project with Walmart doing the funding.
Nice. Well, thank you to Walmart. So now tell us more, because you guys aren't just helping these individuals discover who they are, you're taking it a step further, is my understanding.
Yes, we are. We teach them how to find a job. No one else teaches. There is no other course in the world that teaches you how to find a job. Not only do we show you which career field to go after, but how to get it there. And one of the things we do is that we have you research 3 companies you'd like to go to work for, and then do informational interviews with them to discover if that's where you want to go. We work on what we call a strategic battle plan, which allows the person, the veteran, to set up a plan on what they want to get. You know, in other words, this is the career field I'm going after. This is the reasons why I've selected that, and this is how I'm going to get there. Here are my strategy and my tactics on how I'm going to get there, and my time. Mm-hmm. So we set up a whole plan for them, and then we also show you how to succeed once you start the job. But we walk you through the entire thing of creating the resume, translating your military skills into civilian experience. Also, we talk about how to get a federal job, and we spend some time on that, which is a very different approach to things. We also
even the resume is different.
Yeah, it could be up to 10 pages long on that versus a 1 or 2 page resume as far as the civilian resume is concerned. And then we also work with we set up an employer panel so that employers will come in and talk about what they're looking for, and you can ask them questions about what kind of about their company and what turns them off or turns them on about their own companies and how they would look at you. So those are some things that we cover in Vetpropulsion. We also have it as a career propulsion for the non-veterans or say for spouses, that type of thing.
And that's career propulsion as well, correct?
Yes. Yes. And go ahead.
And that's offering the same things, but there is a cost to that one.
Yes, that's the one that financial aid can cover that, or that would be the best way is for financial aid to cover that if you could take it in a credit course. Mm-hmm. Or if we also are working with the National Guard to work with them in order for them to provide it at no cost to people who are reservists and guardsmen.
Ooh, you're hitting the heart here, Dennis. You're hitting the heart. So being a guardsman myself, I appreciate that. So I'll tell you thank you for even doing that. Now, we can read all, and you guys, I'm going to go ahead and tell you guys about the website. You can go to the website. It is Vetpropulsion.com. Phonetically, that is Victor, Echo, Tango, Papa, Romeo, Oscar, Papa, Uniform, Lima, Sierra, India, Oscar, November.com. And for all of you guys know, you can always go back and, rewind back. The pleasure of doing this on internet radio, they can just go right back and hear it again. So I won't repeat it, but go to vetpropulsion.com. There's a lot of different things on there. You guys even have a Train the Trainer program.
Yes, we do.
So
if you have an organization that would like to get the program from us, and for example, we're working with the Fountain of Life Faith-Based Center up in Puyallup, Washington. Mm-hmm. They want us to bring the program in, and we will do a Train the Trainer for them so they can bring it in, and they're a 501c3 offering it again to veterans at no cost.
So again, folks, there's a lot of different opportunities with Vetpropulsion here. I want to know more about you because, as I said, folks, you can go to the website and learn all about this program. But Dennis, you have, one, I know you have this terrible commute every day that you have to take, he has his terrible commute, you guys. He has to go, 30 yards?
50 yards.
50. Ooh,
actually 50 feet.
50 feet through 4-legged commuters, and I don't know how you handle this every day.
Yeah, we have to duck the wild turkeys and the deer and the elk and the A-bear squirrels and the fox to get out here. It's not much fun when it snows, but yeah, since I have to shovel over here.
In Colorado, you can just throw on your snowshoes, though, or ski right over.
That's true. We're about 45 minutes from the ski areas, so
tough,
and then we can cross country right over here.
Oh man, I'm feeling for you. Let me pull out a tissue. But I want to know about you. Why did you decide to do Vetpropulsion? Because obviously you've come a long way. You've had a full career. You've been there, done that. Why Vetpropulsion?
I was doing I was assisting some of the disabled veteran outreach program specialists, the DVOPs, at one of the workforce career centers. Mm-hmm. And I discovered that they had a terrible system there. It was very archaic, and they had an awful success record. Only 42% of veterans were getting employment through that program. And so I looked back at one of my old, we had what we called the toolkit, which was a job search in a box that we used in our outplacement back in the early 90s. So I brought one of those in and showed it to one of the guys. He said, "Boy, do we need this." What we did, our program then provided the structure that the veteran lost when they left the military, but we also discovered another thing, that they started forming teams and helping each other. And we had accountability in our course. So the three things they lost when they left the military were structure, accountability, and team. And we were able to provide all three of those. And so I thought, wow, this seems like a great program for veterans. I remember when I got out, as I said, I had a great government knew how to drop bombs. And so I went into sales. I wish I'd had this program, because I'm not sure if I would have gone that way. I may have, but who knows? So with that, discovering that this is something that veterans really needed, and the more that we showed it to them, ages 25 to 62, people have been out of work for up to 2 years, people who had serious substance abuse problems, they are all able to find their ideal job within 2 to 3 months. So it was very rewarding, and so I was just delighted that we could then put the program together. And we were sitting there doing one of our pilot projects, and we were sitting and said, we need a name for this project. And my wife said, Vetpropulsion. And she said it was a God thing. It was just there. Think of jet propulsion and then Vetpropulsion. And so we said, wow. And so we acquired the rights to all that. We copyrighted the name Vetpropulsion and Career Propulsion. And so then started offering the program, and everywhere we went, people said, I want to take this. I need this. I want to do it. We had churches coming to us and saying, we need this for our parishioners, for the homeless veterans coming in. We had one of the guys who said to us, your program will be great for those people with mild TBI and PTS, because it gives them that structure. Everything is written down, so it makes it a really great program for those veterans who've got some issues.
So you've kept it very simple then.
Yes, we did.
Now this is a 5-week course, correct?
Yes, it's a 48-hour course, and it can be anywhere from 3 weeks to a semester.
Right. And so it's broken down into pieces, which makes it more manageable. Everything's in writing, so people can actually go over it. For individuals that are dealing with TBI or PTSD, they can go over it at their own pace, is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, it's also on a CD-ROM, so they can put it on their computers.
Wow. And all of this is offered free to veterans. And
yes.
for military spouses, you guys can actually start using this over in Tidewater on February 26th. Dennis, I haven't heard of anything like this, and I have looked at all these different organizations that are, yes, we help veterans, and what they help is, let's write your resume. This goes so far beyond just writing a resume, and the fact that you guys even acknowledge that, first just talking resumes, acknowledge that there are different types of resumes for different types of jobs, and you're assisting them through this, you're getting them where they would be happiest. Oh my gosh, that is so huge, because there's so many veterans that leave their jobs because of complete and total lack of satisfaction. And with military, they'll work till kingdom come if they're happy.
Yes, exactly. And that's what we discovered. The veteran is really concerned about, well, I'll give you an example. I'm working with a guy by the name of John Shoup, who is a college professor, and he wondered why veterans had such terrible dropout rates and low graduation rates from colleges, community colleges and four-year schools. And what he discovered was that when he put all veterans into a class, and by the way, all our classes are taught by veterans. Mm-hmm. Because if you haven't worn the uniform, you don't really understand the veteran. Even if you've come from a veteran's family.
Say that again.
If you've not worn the uniform, you don't really understand what we've been through.
Thank you so much for saying that. Okay, please continue. I get to acknowledge that and say thank you.
Yes. And so what he was excited about our program was, he says, you give them the mission before they start school rather than coming to school and having to discover their mission. And so it saved them maybe a year or more in college fees. So it saves that GI Bill money.
That's okay. For those who don't know about the GI Bill and the Yellow Ribbon Program, saving a person a year to 2 years at college. Now with the Yellow Ribbon Program, people can now go to Ivy League schools, and that's, you know, $50, $60, $100,000 of education that you're saving individuals and giving them direction right from the get-go. So not everybody that's gone into college knows where they want to be, what they want to grow up and be. Even those who have finished their careers, I can actually vouch for that. You know, because my own parents, my father's a guru in computers and did that his entire career, and then got a degree in psychology. You know, because he is interested in the social psych. So, and it shocked me. Now, he does have his degrees in computer science, but I mean, I was not expecting that change from him, and I'm seeing him blossom, you know, working with people. So I love this, Dennis. I love it, and I want every single person to know about your program.
Thank you, Nicole.
Yeah. So where do you guys see this going? I mean, you're going to put them in all the colleges. You're working through the Guard. I know you guys are working at, with the Guard in Fort Carson, correct?
Yes, we'll be working. Well, it's a Guard in the Colorado National Guard, and then we're also being asked to be a part of a program that a foundation has come up with an RFP to replace. It's called the Veterans Reintegration Program. It essentially replaces the TAP program, and ours is the centerpiece of that program.
I am so grateful for that. You know, the reintegration program happens for individuals who are coming home from deployment, and while it's a wonderful effort, it definitely does fall short for reintegrating veterans. So having Veteran Propulsion join into that is huge. For those of you who are not military and are listening, or are veterans from the past, this reintegration program happens every 30, 60, and 90 days following the return of the soldier from the field, or deployment, whichever you'd like to. I will go with deployment. But to assist them with getting back into society, moving from having a weapon 24/7 to having nothing. And no, it is not okay to put a kid on the top of the car with a water gun and pretend that they're the turret. So, you know, it teaches all these wonderful things for reintegrating us soldiers back into civilized society, because definitely we are not civilized as much outside in the wild. So Vetpropulsion redirects these soldiers from military into civilian working jobs, translating skills. Now, is this something else you guys are doing? Will you guys be taking that over? Because Transition Assistance Program used to translate military skills into, you know, civilian working skills. Will Vetpropulsion be taking these skills and doing the same?
Yeah, we do the same thing. But the nice thing is that the assessment we use is so much better than what they use. I took the assessment for the TAP because I just tried it out. It said, you want to do creative things. That's what it said about me.
Are you serious? That was it?
That was it, yeah.
That's so descriptive.
Yes. Well, that was the problem with it, is that Berkman is so far ahead of that because of its intensity. I mean, this thing is there's over 70 reports come out of the one questionnaire. I mean, it's an incredible assessment.
70 or 17?
70.
Holy cow, 70 reports out of one questionnaire.
Yeah, it takes about 35 minutes on the internet to take it. And you sit on your computer, you take it about 35 minutes, and then it doesn't change much over the years, but it really gives you who you are, how you come across to other people, which of the career fields that make sense for you, and then what causes stress in life and what you can do about it. Although you get about a 60-page report that everybody in the class gets. Wow. And then we do a group feedback so everybody understands what it is. And then we have individual, as we go through the class, if you have individual questions you need to meet with us off-site, we do that also. And then we've tracked people for up to a year after the class to see how they're doing and help them out to make sure that we get them, you know, the right track that they need to be on.
So talking statistics, how many, you know, in percentages, what are you looking at as far as success rate?
We're looking at around close to 80%.
That's phenomenal.
Yes.
80%. The Department of Labor can't even say that.
Well, no, they're happy at 51%. The Department of Labor is.
I thought it was at 50, so that's even better than that, I thought. But
Yes.
still, that's nowhere near 80.
No.
And you're tracking these people up to a year, so a year is actually the barest minimum of what you want on your resume anyway for any job that you're taking.
Exactly.
So you are actually getting them through the first year of their employment. And when you talk to these individuals, when you do your feedback with them, what are some of the comments that you're hearing back?
What a difference that this course made, and where people say at the Colorado National Guard, people are saying to the general, everybody should take this course because it's what we need. But they come out and they said, it was great because I learned who I really was, how I came across other people, which career path I need to go for. And we got one guy who just retired as a sergeant. I think it's about an E7, and we helped him with his federal resume to get a high-paying G11 position, G13 position with the Air Force.
Wow, and just so you guys know, G13 is G13 out of 15.
Yes.
So that's a very high-paying job.
Yes,
and
very much
definitely
so.
Going into GS is a lot better than just going into regular jobs because there's a lot more job security, especially at a GS13 if he does well. So
Yes.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you on behalf of all of them. Please tell me that you guys are going to be taking this from Colorado and heading back over to DC.
Yes, we're trying to. We've got the beachhead in Virginia, and they're I think we'll be bringing in as a credit course for the GI Bill to pay for it also in their veterans section. And then the same thing's going to be happening in Arizona.
Well, I'm just thinking about the Guard.
Oh, the Guard, yeah.
Yeah, I want that to come into the Guard. I want that to go nationwide because that would just... There's so many veterans that I talk to on a regular basis that feel somewhat slighted because they haven't gotten everything they feel they deserved as far as reintegration is concerned, as far as being able to take their skills and get a job. And so many of them, I mean, especially in today's economy, I know of a few gentlemen that have gone overseas just because it's easier to go back to the deployment zone and work there than it is to come home and find a job for their family.
One of the ways you may want to look at back there in the D.C. area is that, do you remember the tobacco grant money that came out a few years ago that all the states were getting? Well,
Yes.
We have the Veterans Trust Fund in Colorado, and the Veterans Trust Fund paid for that pilot project with the National Guard. So you may want to investigate that in where you are as far as seeing about the tobacco grant money or Veterans Trust Fund setting up that program. And then we can come back and do a train the trainer for the people or teach it ourselves, whichever is preferred.
I will definitely. I actually know a few organizations that their whole point is making sure veterans, both homeless and otherwise, are getting the education they need for getting back into the job market, that are also nonprofit organizations that are run by veterans. One of them that comes to mind is Warrior Battle Buddies and Warriors on Course. So I will pass that on to them because that is definitely their area, and this needs to happen. This needs to happen hands down on all segments. Folks, I'm going to say that if you have not checked out Veteran Propulsion, please do so now. Vetpropulsion is a phenomenal program. The first time I heard about it, I was just instantly telling Dennis, hey, I need you to be on the show. I need you to do this. So, because when I saw it, I was shocked that there's something out there that was strictly for veterans. It was built by veterans. And again, I want to go back to when you said, if you haven't worn the uniform, you don't know what it's like. And here you've got veterans teaching, making sure they know, that they're working with their peers. So you've created a peer-to-peer support through Vetpropulsion as well in your classrooms.
Yes.
I appreciate that on so many levels because I deal with individuals that are also telling me, nobody understands. They don't understand that this is difficult for me. They don't get it. They don't know where I'm coming from. They don't even know what I'm talking about when I say MOS, AFSC. different things that, are wonderful acronyms. And one of these counselors I just finished speaking with told me, military members have this alphabet soup that no one can get through. And just being able to speak to someone, not in a counseling setting, but in a work setting, to learn how to get a better place and be able to talk to somebody and not have to go, what is that? Can you re-explain? Can you tell me that again? What was that you said? We're dealing with individuals here that are going to be able to connect right out the pocket, which is going to increase their ability to learn through Vetpropulsion. Folks, you deserve to check it out. I mean, even if you just look at it, you're going to find a program that is worth investigating. They give lots of information on how and why we are influenced, how we think, what we're deciding on, how we learn. Oh gosh, Dennis, the one about how we learn right there, if you stop right there, you'd have been making a huge impact with the Berkman Method.
Yes.
And
they can check out the Berkman Method at www.berkman, Berkman, Bravo India Romeo Kilo Berkman.com.
Excuse me, folks. I got choked up on my emotion of being happy about this. So, Berkman Method, and as he spelled it, it was Bravo India Romeo Kilo Mike Alpha November .com. Is it BerkmanMethod.com or Berkman.com?
Berkman.com.
Okay, so Berkman.com, and you can look at all the different information. If I recall, you can actually pay to take the test.
Yes, it's about $450 or thereabouts if you went to the Berkman organization to take it. We've got a special pricing that we're able to offer, and so that it gets much cheaper going through our course, and you get the same thing, but it's Berkman loves this, and they are all behind this and helping us grow this.
Okay, so folks, as you heard it, you can pay $450 out of pocket, or go to Vetpropulsion and get the Berkman Method, find out how to get a job. They will direct you to those jobs. They will assist you through all these different things and get you there. So pay $450 or get it for free as a veteran through Vetpropulsion. Yeah, doesn't take a scientist or an Air Force individual to figure that one out. Even us Army and Marines can figure that one out. So it comes easy. So Dennis, thank you so much for being with me today and for sharing Berkman Method and Vetpropulsion.com with us. And on behalf of all the ones who have gone through your program and have yet to go through, I'm just going to go ahead and say a big, gigantic thank you. I appreciate you, and I'm filled with gratitude for Vetpropulsion. Our veterans deserve it.
Great. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate the time.
Thank you. And don't go anywhere. To everybody else, thank you so much for listening to the PTSD Retreat Radio Talk Show. I will be seeing you next time. Remember, tomorrow night at 8 p.m., it's Two Wackos and Key Lime Pie with Kevin Lake and Nicole Johnson-Starr. That would be me. We'll be going off, and we're going to actually have a guest calling in tomorrow night, another Iraq vet, who's going to be talking about military stigma and actually dishing on Kevin Lake, the author of Off Switch. So you'll get to hear some stories about Kevin that he doesn't normally talk about on Tuesday night, so it should be a lot of fun. And I do ask you to tune in at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Outside of that, everyone else, thank you so much for listening and have a great day. This is Nicole Johnson-Starr and Dennis Orr talking about Vetpropulsion.com on the PTSD Retreat Radio Talk Show. Have a great day.